How do you become a student pilot?
Student pilot is basically enrolling into a flight school, applying and filling the form for a student pilot. You get a student pilot license.
So, if you have to become a student pilot in India, there is a oral exam which you have to give for the navigation, meteorology, air regulation, technical, general and specific. So based on that oral exam, there is an application made to DGCA and then you get the student pilot license. And you need to have a class 2 medical as well. Along with that, you need to have the FRTOL restricted. Once you have all these things in place, then you are a student pilot and start your first flight. That is how it goes in India.
For us in the States, we did not have to give an exam apart from one knowledge test, which is pretty much straightforward MCQ, 100 MCQ questions. So the process is a bit different in India. So for US, once you get your student pilot license, you start flying with your instructor. You will be assigned an instructor and you will start your private pilot training. So in that stage, you don't have any stripes on your shoulder yet, but once you become a private pilot, once you clear the exams and the practical checks for private pilot, you get one stripe on your shoulder, that is your private pilot license.
So for private pilot, what all exercises that you do in your training and what all things are covered in that?
So in private pilot license, like our private pilot training, you basically learn the airport operations, like you learn the traffic pattern, you learn few maneuvers like power off stall, power on stall, steep turns, engine off landing.
So first you start with very basic like straight and level, then climb, turns, and then after
there is very basic maneuvers, and after that you go on to steep turns. Then you learn about engine failure, then you learn different types of takeoffs and landing. There's soft fill takeoff, soft fill landing, then there is normal takeoff, normal landing, and short fill takeoff, short fill landing. So these are all the maneuvers which we learn in the private pilot, and we basically fly with respect to visual flight rules, which is called as the VFR flying.
Correct. So before you get the private pilot license, you will have a solo, right?
Yes.
So so you will have a solo released, and thereafter you get private pilot license immediately, or you still fly further hours?
Like it depends on the flight school, but in my case, I did my 10-hour solo before I got my private pilot license. So once you do the 10-hour solo, and after that you again go to a check ride.
So here in private pilot license, you will be eligible to fly on a VFR pattern, right?
Yes.
So it's only by visual flight rules?
Yes, it's only by visual flight rules.
So have you had experience where the weather goes bad and your flight gets cancelled and
that
because of
was
VFR?
That was a normal thing for us. Yes.